was looking for you, Anne. So, time to wrap up what we saw today, what we discussed. So I'll ask Anne, and you will introduce yourself from PwC Luxembourg to come and talk about, let's say, the wrap up, or you comment about all the presentation you made and the trends on the market. So, Anne, could you introduce who you are, what you do at PwC?
So, hi everyone, I'm Anne Massardier, Director in the Finance Transformation team at PwC, where we run and drive transformation projects that is in finance department or specifically in treasury.
Okay, so maybe let's move to a few slides to summarize.
Yes, exactly. So the purpose is to summarize a little bit the key messages that have been mentioned today, but also to add from my side an advisory and a project management point of view. First, maybe was to remind what's the purpose of the meeting that we have today, of the discussion about new technology and transformation. So it has been very well described by Cyril from Kiriba, and just to confirm that the importance of transforming an organization. There can be very different drivers, so we saw it with the carve-out case. It can be also related to market constraints, like we saw also the shortage on the labor market and the difficulty, especially for treasury team to hire. But whatever the reason why, transforming is really key to remain first up to date in the market, and also to make sure that you remain up to date and that you remain at the same level as your peers. You can also go much more beyond and decide to take a leading position. And then, of course, the transformation is clearly a key requirement. More from an advisory and more from my experience, if I may, once you have decided and take the decision to transform, what are the key really rules and takeaway you should use in your transformation journey? I think for me, there are three main rules that have to be kept in mind to have a successful or technology implementation, or in general in transformation you can have into your organization. First of all is to fix your goal. If you have a referring point, that will really ease your transformation journey, because any decision you will take will be assessed toward this ultimate goal. And that clearly is the way you will take decision and streamline also your transformation. The second one would be to stick to your decision. So if you close a door, don't reopen it. Of course, there can be project extensions, there can be a change afterwards when you go live, and you can always upgrade the technology you implement, but don't do back and forth all the time during your project. You will lose time and you will lose money. And the last one is to ensure the internal buying. So it has been mentioned, the fact that taking a solution is not only the cost of the solution, but also the maintenance. Ensure that you have economical buying, of course, and you need someone to sign a check to kick off the project, but you also have to make sure that at the end you will really generate the gains that you were expecting in the project. And for that, you need to make sure that people who will use it, final user, are confident with the solution and feel safe in using it, and with data accuracy, for example. So those are really, for me, more generally in a project and in a transformation journey, really the key rules to respect.
No, I totally agree with you with the buying, because if you don't include all the team members, the risk is to have a solution that will be not used. So I'm always in favor, as a recommendation to do to all our members. So involve your team in the project, make sure at least at a certain level to make sure that the solution is validated, because if not, you can maybe take the best solution, the cheapest solution, fulfilling all the requirements. If it's not used, that's another problem. And so it's very often underestimated.
Exactly.
So let's move to
more specifically, if I may, just before, but more specifically for the treasury, the treasury specific transformation project. What I see very often also, and I want to be sure that today it's clear that even if we are talking about a technological project, we're never talking only about a solution or technology. So any implementation, any even selection before the implementation, just the selection of the solution has impact on your other operating model layers, has impact on the people, has impact on your structure and your organization. So you really always have, of course, not to assess all those layers to the same extent that you will do with the solution that you're challenging and benchmarking. But you really have to keep in mind and make a whole definition of what will be your future way of working and your future operating model as a whole. So that's a very important point. It's not a silo selection and implementation. Also, it has been very well mentioned, the hard choice between the best of breed and the best of suit. Mm-hmm. And I really like the fact that the speaker mentioned that it's so important to assess what you have. So try first to leverage on your existing tool, try to maximize, and that links to what we said. So if you have functional buying, if the people know to use the tool, you can be much further than maybe the current situation. So try to develop and see what you can do better, what you can do faster with your existing tool, how you can opt for satellite solutions, so combination, a mix of different solutions. And this is also a scenario that is much more spread recently in the market thanks to managed services and outsourcing capabilities. So saying, okay, I'm going to focus on very specific solution to tackle one or two key activity, one or two key process. And for the rest, where I'm not sure to be the best and to be the most experienced and the expert, I will outsource and I will ask someone to take care for me. So that's also a way, and that's why I'm coming back to my first point, saying it's not only about a solution, it's also about how do I want to work, what's my value proposition, what do I want to offer in terms of service into my organization at the end, to the business, to be a business partner to the front office, to be also a strategic advisor to my top management with data analysis, etc.
It's fair to say that outsourcing could be more in mind of smaller, let's say, entities, and this morning, as we discussed with private equities or family offices, of course, they don't necessarily need a full-time treasurer, but some of the function could be outsourced, further automated first, and then outsourced to third party.
Yeah, you have to mix. You have to mix what you can do on your structure, what you can do on your technology, what you can do with your people. So, what are the skills of your people? Can they manage? Do you have the right person to drive the solution? Right. That's a global, I would say, combination, an arithmetic choice you have to do. Last, so I'm trying to be fast because I know I'm your last step before the cocktail. No, but last, I will say that on top of your internal choices and the different assessments you can do, you also have to be ambitious in your selection and in your transformation and in your objectives. Specifically to Luxembourg, for the one who are not from Luxembourg, and I hope that all the Luxembourg corporate have heard about it. Otherwise, please let us know, because at PwC we try to make a very wide assessment about this mechanism. Has been launched earlier this year, a new investment tax credit that aims to support very innovative and deeply transformative project. So you have two pillars, digital and environmental, and the mechanism is a really great support. And I think one of the best promoters to kick off new projects, especially in finance department and in treasury.
But we need to be smart in the way we present the project to make sure that it will be accepted and agreed. And so it's an early stage, so it's better to be, let's say, supported to make sure that. But what are we talking about? 18%.
So it's 80%.
Yeah.
So 8 on both. Sorry. Yeah. On both on capex and opex. So that's also the beauty of the.
On 3 years, it's
yeah,
correct.
On the 3 years of a project. So during the project time, after it's considered as a run or not anymore a project phase, and you have some criteria to respect. Of course, you have some specific objective. to mention and to argument and to evidence. So that's where we support a lot, and we have made this huge, as I said, assessment and awareness into the market to let people know that this is a really great, for me, trigger.
But you start having some, let's say, track records and expertise on what could fly and what could not fly. And I think it's quite
and
interesting.
what I saw today surely can fly. So that's...
Yeah. No, exactly. So it's the way we present the file is quite important. But again, 18% of tax credit, it's a lot of money, and so it could help selling the project, because we also saw in the first presentation that it's important to find the right argument, the right element to sell the project internally.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, the last, but it has been, I think, already well described and discussed, the new capabilities of the tools and the technology. So overall, I have to say, and I think we have a great momentum. So we have economical sponsor, we have technological capabilities, and also constraints, as we said, on the staff shortage, etc. So I guess the transformation is not anymore a question. We all do it in our. Now we are all in a continuous transformative mode, and so I think now you have all the keys. Please keep in mind, as I said, the key messages and recommendations. And of course, don't hesitate to look for support in driving your project and supporting you.
No, it's a question of when and how, but you're right. There is no, let's say, choice. Okay, thanks a lot, Anne, for this, let's say, wrap up. You will stay around with us, so if you want to share and to discuss, because you run at PwC an interesting survey every 2 years. We at ESCT run an annual survey. We try to combine and to talk about that, because I think it's quite important to see also the trend in the market. We mentioned several times today benchmarking. It's also quite important to see what are the trends, what the others are doing, and I think this kind of document are quite useful for, let's say, feeling and testing the water and see
the voice of the market, clearly.
Exactly, and so it's one of the role at the association level. Now it's time to close this session. To thank you for having been patient and quite, let's say, attentive until the end of the presentation. So again, thanks a lot to all the sponsors, to all the speakers. It was a long day. I hope it was interesting and fruitful. I do propose that we close, and I think that we all deserve some drinks. So I invite you to come next door for the cocktail. And if you want to talk to the sponsors, to the exhibitors, feel free. They are still around. Thanks a lot, and see you very soon for our Christmas event in December.